Hello, I want to show you how you can use this compression tool to improve your WordPress website performance, so you can reduce image file size and save a bit of bandwidth. And that's particularly useful if you're on shared hosting. You're shaving off megabytes and megabytes and megabytes of file size without actually affecting the visual quality of those files. So first of all, go to tinypng.com. It's also known as tinyjpeg.com. It actually handles both JPEG or PNG files. I've FTP'd into my WordPress website and I've copied across the entire directory. And you could just get the uploads folder if you wanted to. You don't need to do the whole thing. And this is now on my computer, and if I go into uploads and then go into each folder, I can see each image and I can replace certain images which I know are being used on the WordPress website and then upload them into this compression tool, and then when they've compressed I can easily download them and put them back into these folders. When I've done everything, what I'll do is I'll copy the uploads folder back into my WordPress remote directory. Now that sounds like a lot of work, but you've only really got to do it once, and I'm doing it retrospectively, and by that I mean I'm going back through my image archives and exchanging the images. But usually when I create an image for WordPress, what I'll do is I'll compress it, and then I'll upload it to the WordPress media uploader. I'll also explain briefly how the WordPress media uploader works, because that is responsible for the multiple images and multiple different versions of the same image. For example, take this image, Adobe Audacity. I added this to the top of a WordPress page. Now as soon as I added that, the WordPress media uploader automatically created these additional thumbnails, and these are used in the WordPress blog archive. I've got my archives set up to display the thumbnail, but when you click through you get the actual content and you see this version of the image. All I'm interested in doing is swapping out the images that are used on the blog most of the time. So this image is accessed when a user loads up the page about Adobe Audacity, and there's also a few screenshots that I've included within the body of the content for that particular page. However, these additional thumbnails I'm going to ignore because they're not actually used. It's a maximum of 20 images at any one time, so there's a bit of back and forth. I could open Photoshop and load up all the images and then resave them, but this is actually quicker. We'll just do this one on its own. So it uploads, it compresses, and it shows you how much file size you've saved. So that was originally 202 kilobytes, it's now 87. That's fantastic. Now I'm going to download it, and I'm going to make sure that I've chosen the right folder. 2014 October, November that we want, and I'll overwrite it, and now let's take a look at it. No difference. Believe me, that is compressed, and there's no discernible difference that I can see with the naked eye. That's 88K it's saying on disk. Previously it was 210. I mean, that's massive. If you can do that across the board, you're saving shed loads of bandwidth. And that's, like I say, it's important if you're on a shared host. So anyway, this is what I do to speed things up. I do 20 at a time. So I make sure that I choose the images with what I'm going to call a top level file name, because you can see with these other images, they've been appended with 100 by 100, 150 by 150 and so on. Those are the thumbnails that the WordPress media uploader automatically created. Ignore those. So that's 20 for now. We've got up to and including this one. So all I do now is and I'm holding the control key when I select those. I drag them into this area here, and they upload and compress and finish pretty fast. And what happens is right at the end, you've got the option to download all of them together rather than having to download them individually. They actually get zipped up into like a WinZip or WinRAR package. Here we go, download all. So make sure you're in the right folder. It's called Tinified. I don't know why it's called Tinified, but that's what it is. So you save it. If I open that, what I can do now is I can select all these files and just drag them in here like so, and it'll ask me to replace them. So I can click move and replace, or I can just say do this for the next 17 conflicts. Click that, and that replaces all of them, and you can delete that that package, that zip package. What we've done, we've swapped out 20 images for 20 compressed images, okay, and we've made a saving of 2 megabytes. That's pretty significant. What I like to do is go through and do 20 at a time, download them, download the zip and put it in this folder, then do another 20, put the zip in there, another 20, and so on and so on. And then right at the end, when I've got all those image archives, right click it and just say extract here, and it will ask you if you want to replace all those images. Say yes. I just unzip them one after the other and copy the images in. So that's what you need to do. Okay, and once you've replaced all your images, you can eventually copy the entire uploads folder back to your remote directory. It's really worth doing this. I know it looks laborious and time consuming. That's because I'm doing it retrospectively. As I said, in future, whenever I create images for WordPress, a featured image or whatever it is, I'll compress it and then I'll upload it to WordPress. So do this. I think you'll be glad in the end, and I think you're less likely to max out any shared hosting resources. So thanks for watching. See you soon. Bye.